Hey, you guys, this is so exciting that I actually get to do this with you live on airs and not on Facebook. So I just wanted to get in about all things food. I know that a lot of us have had the same conversation, but I wanted to really talk to you about it and get to really chat. So one of the main things I see out of you guys and out of other challengers and just kind of like talking about goals, and even though you think you're eating well enough, and I don't think I need those portion things because I think I do a pretty good job, what I find is that most people don't eat enough. You don't eat enough, and that's a big problem when you're trying to make a change with your body. You're trying to let your body heal itself from the inside out and be able to produce results for you, whether you're focusing on your nutrition or you're focusing on your nutrition and your fitness and your movement. And so one thing that I really want to stress is that you've got to be getting enough food and enough of the right food, because a calorie doesn't equal a calorie. A calorie from a burger is different than a calorie from a bowl of veggies. Or, sorry, we went to OMSI today. So, and so, getting the right amounts of the right things and the right calories from the right things. And so obviously we're not counting calories here, but by using the portion control system that you have gotten from your program. And if you don't have that, let's chat, because there's super easy ways to get it. And for, next to nothing, you don't even, whatever. If you don't have it, we'll chat and I'll help you through that. But using the portion control system and using the app that's on your phone to track, I'll show you what I mean, to track your containers. Let me show you which one I'm talking about. This 21-day fix, it just says Beachbody right now. Hang on. This 21-day fix tracker app, by using that app, you're able to actually track the things that you're doing. So that's a big deal, because what I chose to do when I first started my portion control thing was that I took the first couple days and I just tracked the things that I ate, things that I naturally ate. I portioned them out, but I just kind of tracked the things that I already ate. And what I found, and many of you have heard this already, is that I had too much protein and not enough fruits and vegetables. And I usually, by the end of the day, was missing out on 4 or 5 containers. That is too many containers to miss out on. My body wasn't getting enough nutrients to actually function. My body was priming itself to keep all the fat in it because I wasn't getting all the nutrients to function. It's that's caveman status. That is, you don't know where your next meal is coming from, so your body's priming itself to hold the fat because it can burn energy from, it can use the fat as energy, it can use it as warmth, it can use it to survive, but it primes your body to hold the fat. So if you're trying to lose fat, gain muscle, create any sort of change with your body, and even creating some more health in your body so that your body's not constantly on this high stress way of living, even if you're not trying to lose weight, even if you're not trying to gain muscle, you're still creating this high stress environment inside of your body, because your body's like, oh crap, I have no idea where my next meal is coming from, if that makes sense. And so by allowing your body to heal from the inside out, by allowing it to have all the nutrients it needs to really function properly, you're giving your body a fighting chance. You're giving it the chance to be strong and to be willing to do the things you're asking it to do. This includes being able to walk, allowing your joints to move properly, allowing your digestion to work properly, allowing your organs to pump your blood through. It allows all of those things when you give yourself the right food, the right nutrition. It's not just I'm hungry, this is right in front of me, it's calories, so I'll eat that because it's just calories, and my body needs calories. It's not the same, and I'm not perfect by any means. I you all know this too, I love chocolate, and I really enjoy my like granola with fruit and milk in it. And if I could eat that all day, every day, hey mom, if I could eat that all day, every day, I would. But I can't eat cereal and or granola and milk and fruit all day, every day. And so what I have done instead, what I have done instead is that I have figured out a way to balance out my nutrition. And so now my body is not so hungry. But if by, 6 p.m. I realize that I'm missing a fruit and I'm missing, 2 proteins and a carb, that means that my dinner is going to be a little bit bigger. I probably should have balanced it out better. My dinner is going to be a little bit bigger, and I'm still going to have a fruit after dinner or with dinner. And that goes differently with everyone's bodies. I know that there's some people who... What's that? I'll get it in just a second, okay? Okay. I know that different people's bodies react differently to to fruit in the evening, but that's something that you have to figure out for your body. And that's another reason that tracking system is so good, that the 21 Day Fix Tracker app, because it helps you understand what you need in your day so that you're not coming to the end of the day like I was when I first started and having 4 or 5 containers left, because I'm not going to eat 4 or 5 containers worth of food, 2 fruits, 2 protein, or 2 veggies and a protein all at dinner. It's too much. I'm going to be overstuffed and too full, and I'm not going to feel good. So it's a matter of figuring out where that balance lies within your day. And it takes a little bit of time and a little bit of practice for it to be super functional for you, because I'm not asking you to take containers to a restaurant. I'm not asking you to even take containers to a friend's house or anything like that. That would be silly. It's not a functional way to be. But if for the first few days, okay, I'll get you. If for the first few days or week, you're really focused on what these portions look like, even if it's just for breakfast and lunch and a snack, you're understanding what these portions look like. So come dinner time, you'll be set, or you'll be half set anyways, and you'll be able to figure out a way to make the portions what they should be, or what you think they should be. And over time, with practice, you'll get more used to it and you'll get better at it. It's just with anything else. But the thing about the food is that you have got to have enough food for your body to heal, for your body to really allowing itself to heal from the inside out. Because if you're, like I said before, if you're not having enough food, your body's priming itself to hold the fat and not build muscle and not function properly. It's always in this state of stress. So really getting that part of it in would be super helpful. And I know that our relationship with food sometimes can be stressful in itself. I know that there's a lot of people, I'll get you. I know that there's a lot of people who have a really hard time with food, because it's like, it's that deprivation mindset of like, well, I can't have that and I can't have that and I can't have that. And that's not really that functional either, because it's like, if I tell you don't think about the pink elephant, what are you going to think about? Think about the pink elephant. And so allowing yourself to understand, for me, it's like, I like chocolate. I appreciate the fact that I like chocolate. I am learning that I don't have to have it all the time. And this is my own battle. So, picking your own battle and understanding your own battle with it, if you have one, is going to be super helpful to name it and to allow yourself to realize it and accept it, because before we get to that stage, we feel guilty. I think I talked about this a little bit before, but we kind of start to feel guilty about this thing that we have that maybe we don't feel like we should have, or we don't feel like we should feel that way, but we do. And then you feel guilty. It's okay to feel the way you feel. It's okay to want the things that you want, but by understanding that, no, you don't have to have a burger and fries all the time. No, you don't have to have that milkshake all the time. That you can make a better choice, that you can have a healthy burger. You can have a lettuce wrapped burger that's like lettuce and tomato and the meat, and it's not that bad for you. You know, you're making simple choices to allow yourself to have these things, but in the right portions. And so allowing ourselves to be at that point with our relationship with food sometimes takes a long time, and it depends on where you are with your relationship with food, but also understanding that food is a good thing. Food is a healing, it's something that can heal you, and it's something that can really empower you on in trying to be healthier. That was my soapbox. Mom, I'm going to unmute you here if I can. It's not letting me unmute you. Can you unmute yourself?
So,
there you go. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep. How'd you feel about all that? Good. Do you have something to say about all that, knowing that this is recorded?
Yeah. So I think you're right about, you know, you want to use those containers to kind of give you an idea. And once you get the idea, then like you said, you don't have to like take them to the restaurant or anything like that. You can kind of get a sense of, you know, how much goes in each of those containers. So it's really helpful for me if I use them when I'm going to work or when I'm making dinner and I just dump it out on the plate.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
That part's helped me because I thought I was eating way too much protein. And when I started putting it into those containers, I realized I wasn't eating enough protein.
Right. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So, but then things like the nut butters, you know, things like that, you might eat way too much if you don't use the containers and modify, you know, what you're eating with things like that. So.
Right. Yeah. And really, I feel like the other end of the spectrum is having these tools and being really annoyed at the tools. And I find that people who have that reaction are maybe not quite ready to change their eating habits. And that's, you know, that's wherever you are in the journey. But like, I have also had people who will look in the containers and kind of dismiss them, you know, and I did that for 4 months. They sat in my cabinet and I was just like, that's ridiculous. I don't need that. I'm not doing that. And I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to do it. And so when I became ready and when I allowed myself to have a bit of an open mind and see if this tool worked for me, I started to see the value in it.
Yeah. And I agree too. Cause when I got them as part of a set because I got some other stuff, you know, and I was like, okay, I did the same thing. I put them in the cupboard and then it wasn't until you said that you let yours sit in the cupboard and then once you started using them, it really kind of opened your
right.
So it was this, you know, doing the online workout videos and things like that. Like, no, I'm a gym person. I don't want to do workouts at home. And then when you start using the tools and kind of mind, you're like, okay, maybe these aren't for every single day, but they definitely work, you know?
Right.
They definitely work for me. This is just adaptation of what works for you, but still keeping your mind open to the things that will help you. I mean, that's the whole point of these tools is to use them to help you.
Right. So yeah, exactly.
And saying, oh, well, so far nothing's really worked for me, so I might as well try these, you know?
Right.
So and it's not working the way I'm doing it, so what the heck, I might as well try something new.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Did you have anything about like relationship with food? Do you have, so I know like for me, I've always loved cooking food. I've always loved baking. And I found that before I started to accept the things that I really love to eat versus the things that actually made me feel good, before I allowed myself to accept the fact that I still love to eat these things and they don't make me feel good versus the things that make me feel good, I found that like when I would make cookies, I would eat them all. Or I would eat 4 cookies worth of dough and then eat 4 more cookies when they came out of the oven. And knowing that I'm not going to feel very good. But I find that now I'm coming to a place where I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll have one, and then I'm good after that.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm in all or nothing mode right now.
Okay.
It's like nothing, or if I start, I can't stop. So
okay.
I'm kind of but I need to try that rubber band thing, or that tapping thing.
Yeah, the EFT.
That tapping. Yeah, I haven't done it yet, and I totally should have done it today because I kind of screwed up today. But done it, and that was the furthest thing from my mind. And now that we're talking, it's like, oh, crap.
Like, oh yeah, right, yeah.
At that moment, but I wasn't feeling well this morning, and I just couldn't get myself going. And so food is usually what I go to try and get some energy. I was just so de-energized, couldn't get myself going.
Right.
Like 3 glasses of water and just going to lay down, which would have been the best thing for me. I drank coffee and ate some apple muffins. So
yeah, and it's hard because after you do, you're like, whoa, I don't feel good about that. And for me, it's the same thing with the coffee and the water, and that I've had to force myself with my water to make it a scheduled thing, because otherwise I'm like, it's not going to happen. It just doesn't, it doesn't work. So I've had to create a habit timing, or a timing habit to where I'm like drinking it in the morning. This is my second, because I don't sip on it. This is my second thing of water. I probably would have had one more in between there if I had been at home, but I wasn't at home. And then I'll have one with dinner, but
with me. And if I drink 4 of these every day, I'm feeling really good, because I drink 4 of these, plus when I go to the kitchen sink, I'll just down, a glass of water, more than 8 ounces, probably 10.
Yeah.
Probably about 3 times a day.
Okay.
And then I'm also taking 2 teaspoons of unfiltered vinegar every morning, every night, to try and help, blood pressure and things like that. But you got to drink water after that. So there.
Sounds terrible. But I've heard really good benefits of that. I've never tried that.
I people who've used it. It takes months. It takes 3 months or more to get it to actually work. But I've known people who have completely corrected their blood pressure by doing that.
Oh, okay.
Every day.
All right.
The morning, the night. So we're trying it.
Okay.
I'm only on about 2,
okay.
So
you can do this.
See. But, yeah.
All right. Well, cool. Well, thank you for joining me. That's kind of all I had, unless you have any questions about anything or comments.
Not right now. I definitely have to try that EFT thing, because like I said, today was a struggle, because I just wasn't feeling good. It wasn't my normal routine. I didn't have appointments. I was just going to hang out and work on, invoicing and things like that. But I just couldn't get my act together. I couldn't get myself up. So that's why I found myself turning to food, which is a shame. I've been doing so well, but hey, it's over and
but
done
that's
with.
okay. And that's, I know that's a hard part with the all or nothing, that mindset, but understanding and accepting the fact that that's where you were this morning, and now thinking through it, you have other tools in your back pocket, and now you can do something different next time. That's totally okay. It happens, and life happens, and it's not a deal breaker.
Right. It's frustrating.
Super frustrating.
Because I want to do it all, and I want to do it perfectly. So that's where it gets frustrating for me, because I don't know. I don't know if I'm like that in all aspects of my life, but in this particular one, if I fail, I just tend to go, oh well.
Yeah. Well, and so, I think it's frustrating too. Sorry.
No, I'm just trying to make myself go, oh well. Oops. This is this afternoon, and move on.
Right. So yeah, absolutely.
That's continuing to.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's a great transition from the all or nothing mentality of food, because it's, you know, you think through different aspects of life in general, and nothing is perfect. There's no perfect, doesn't exist in anywhere.
Yeah.
And so I've had that before where I'm like, I want this to be perfect, and I get so frustrated when it's not. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I have to kind of allow myself to have some grace, to give grace, knowing that nothing's ever perfect.
Right.
So you always have a different, how do I say that? Just, I guess, just allowing yourself some grace, knowing that nothing's ever perfect. And that doesn't mean, you know, you snowball and allow it to happen 25 times in the next, you know, week. It's just like, you know, that's right. I made that choice. It's the acceptance part of it that's hard, because you get frustrated with yourself. We all do. I made that choice. That was my choice. Accepting that. That's what I wanted in the moment. And now I know how it made me feel. And now I'm going to move on to a different choice next time, because now I know how it made me feel.
Right.
But instead of feeling guilty or feeling frustrated, choosing acceptance to get to a better part of your relationship with food.
Well, and the whole thing is energy that I was searching, that I was needing so badly. It did not give me any energy. It did nothing for me.
Yeah.
You know, it was for naught. So.
Yep, I understand that too.
Yeah, so I got to get that energized from you. That's definitely so well.
Energized too. Water, lemon water. You like lemon in your water, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, truly taking an entire lemon and putting it in a regular, like half of this jar of water, which is like almost 2 cups, 16 ounces of water, and drinking that will boost your energy more than regular water, more than a cup of coffee. You know that. Even better than Energize, it'll allow your natural systems to get working. And trying that first, and then you going on to an Energize or anything else. I love Energize. I use Energize. I just allowing your body to work first.
All right, I'm gonna go try it.
Okay, or you can come over and get some Energize from me.
I'm trying to catch a summer cold, and it's I'm fighting it.
Yeah,
so.
That's not a fun thing to do. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good.
All right. I love you.
Love you too.
This is my mom for all of you who get to watch this later, but I will talk to you soon. Bye.